citizens of Elephant Lord or the Elephant Herd. Now, we've all been to aquariums. We had to have. Even if you've been to a zoo, they have to have an aquarium somewhere. You have to have seen, I don't know, a fish tank at some point in your life. Even at the dentist office, although, I don't want to procrastinate on something else. Or ramble. Now, what? Now, you'll see lots of animals at the aquarium, but there's some animals you'll never see in an aquarium, which I'm going to list 3. So first, at number 3, this would be so cool to see. A giant squid. Wouldn't that be cool to see a giant squid in an aquarium? But really, we can't because they're hard to find, and most of the time we'll find one that's probably dead, or we'd have to travel very deep, and to transfer it, it has very brittle, fragile skin that isn't as tough as fish scales, so it can't really be, and its skin would probably break while transferring it, and even if we could, you'd have to have a big tank, because they have to, because squids can have this, sudden burst of boom, like this, they'd shoot ink, and then they could hit the glass, and God forbid that glass breaks. You know what's gonna happen. Well, there goes a couple $1 million that you invested, and yes, I'm wearing an inflatable T-Rex suit. So, yeah, I don't know why I did that, but and another reason is what the hell would we feed it? Yeah, I don't know. And also another big problem, a big conundrum is that giant squids live very deep in the ocean, really deep in I don't know, the ocean floor. So they'd have to have a very high pressure tank, which I don't think that's even possible. Can't even do that. So, and it'd also have to be very dark. It'd have to be a dark tank that you couldn't even see it. So what's the freaking point of seeing a giant squid aquarium if you can't even see it because this thing's all dark, since that's what they live in. So then number 2, little life story. I've always wanted to see a whale in an aquarium. It would have just been so cool to see it. Yeah. To see a blue whale in an aquarium. Well, you can't. You just can't, because they're too big. Well, I'm mostly going for blue whales and other baleen whales. Of course, we can have orcas and whales, but although SeaWorld's had some problems with the orcas in the past, I don't think they're doing any more. And I think a couple years ago there was some controversy over the orcas, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going on blue whales. So first of all, blue whales are endangered species, and so we can't really afford to, I don't know, endanger one. So how would we transfer it? Another problem. How would we transfer the thing? So then, even if we do get in there, it'd have to have, literally the biggest tank in the world. It'd have to be a tank as large as, I don't know, a city. Which, that would cost, billions upon billions of dollars to make that. So, and even really could, and just wasted a couple $1 billion and put it in there. Well, the reason why I'd have to have a big tank is because whales can travel very far. Very far. And then the problem with feeding it is that when you whales are filter feeders, krill, plankton, shrimp, or something like that. So, where basically they suck it up. Yeah, they suck up the krill, and then they, I don't know, eat it. But and they had to eat a lot, I don't know, a couple 100 pounds or something. I don't know how much. I need to look that up. You can look that up if you want. Well, we'd have to give it a lot every day, tons of shrimp, which would just go through the cost. It would just cost way too much. And it wouldn't even work. And since that whales are a endangered species, I don't think it'd even get approved. So finally, number 1, I'm gonna ask you one question. What kind of sharks do you find in aquariums? Sure, you'll see, I don't know, nurse sharks. I mean, maybe you've swam with one if you're lucky. You may have swam with a nurse shark, because they're harmless. Maybe you've seen a reef shark. Maybe you've seen I don't know, maybe a hammerhead shark if you've been to the Camden Aquarium and the Adventure Aquarium in Camden. I think this one. Maybe you've seen a whale shark if you went to the Georgia Aquarium or somewhere in China or Asia or somewhere. I don't know. Or maybe you've seen a tiger shark. But have you ever seen a great white? No. great whites, you'll never see in an aquarium. I'm sorry, but you can't. I mean, sure, we've tried in the past, but most of the time they're just babies and not adults. I mean, sure, you'd want to see an adult great white shark, but you can't. But let's just go into it. First of all, same with the other two. It has to have a big tank since they travel very far. Second of all, they're very subject to stress. And that another reason is that with a big tank is that, not because they'll travel far, but because of how they live. When sharks live by, the gills, like, they have to keep moving. They have to keep moving or else, or else their water won't go through their gills, which, they have to pump oxygen in their gills to, do it. To, breathe. And if they stop, then they'll die. So they have to keep moving. So that's not a problem with transferring. It'd be hard to transfer. And then a problem with feeding it. This is like the biggest issue of feeding a great white shark. Like, great white sharks, they don't eat dead fish. They don't eat boring fish. You know what they eat? Seals, turtles, and and maybe even other sharks. Yeah, they'll eat big seals. They don't, they would just be bored of just being fed just boring dead fish. They wanna hunt. They wanna have fun, and they love jumping out in the water and catching those seals. Catching the seals out of the water and doing an awesome trick shot. But in an aquarium, you can't, and they want the thrill of the hunt. They want to have fun, and most of the time when we tried, they didn't even want to eat. Although one time. And most of the time they were babies, and mostly they just died. And the longest living one was just 14 days. And then, although there was one adult that we tried, but guess what happened 3 days later? You probably know what happened. It met Jesus. That's short for it died. I'm sorry, but you won't see these three in aquariums unless we have some, big, good technology, or we can, I don't know. See ya.